Good evening, everyone. Here is Geraldo Lemos Neto, and I'm live from Brazil to do the program to Know Spiritism number 43. Thank you for being with us. Me and Marco Bendra, we are live from Portal Saber Espiritismo in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. We are transmitting for Kardec Radio and also for Spiritism Dissemination at the DSN, Discover Spiritism Network. Today, we are going to continue studying the works of Chico Xavier. This page is very good for nowadays problems because it refers to what we've been experiencing both in the United States and also in Brazil. The title is Little is Preferable to Nothing. And before we study the message that the Spirit of Emmanuel wrote through Chico Xavier, let's hear from Chico Xavier himself when he explained to us the surroundings occurring in the meeting before he received the message, Better This Way. He entitled it, How to Act. And he himself, Chico Xavier, explained, before the spiritual tasks of the evening, we discussed with several friends visiting our institution the circumstances in which we often find ourselves unable to act as we would have liked towards the practice of charity. On many occasions, we are compelled by our duties to give beyond our means in terms of quantity when, in fact, we possess very little for ourselves. In other situations, our experience demands from us an attitude of tolerance to avoid propagating the perturbation, an attitude that we are not capable of implementing at once. Sometimes we want to spend time with others and bring joy to them, but we end up achieving only the least amount of it to prevent other individuals from becoming impatient. How should we act in these cases? We were talking about this subject when the time for our doctrinal meeting came upon us. For the evening studies, the Gospel according to Spiritism offered us an examination of questions 5 and 6 from chapter 13 in reference to the widow's meat or mite. At the end of the meeting, after the remarks made by several friends, our dear Emmanuel brought to us the page Better This Way through psychography. And so that we can see the ambience of that reunion, that meeting, the spiritual meeting in the city of Uberaba, before Chico Xavier received the instruction by the Spirit of Emmanuel, his mentor. And the message is entitled Better This Way. Sorry. Emmanuel, better this way. It is time You offered your cooperation in the assistance of others, and as a rule, you wished you could donate the most of yourself according to the circumstances. However, if this cannot be so, give the little that you do possess to the extent of your wishes, for it is better to offer one's very least than to deny oneself to provide assistance altogether, closing the doors to love towards others. If a challenge to humility rises ahead, you will surely entertain reason for such an enterprise, for its ability to show an angelical understanding to those who appraise your spiritual progress. However, if you are not capable of implementing it, do not exempt yourself from this or that minute of gesture and tolerance. There is more fairness in articulating the meager impulse of sympathy than in abandoning fraternal assistance altogether, for the latter would consequently give passage to unfettered aggression when confronted by offenses and hardships, which are essentially nothing else than manifestations of the infirmities and imbalances in the behavior of others. Should, should you not be given the opportunity to offer a day's work to companions who are needier than you are, offer them an hour to their benefit whenever possible. For it, for it is more beneficial to spend only a few minutes in the execution of good works than to exempt yourself from it, which would arrest the ideal and trusting goodness in our companions of experience and journey. Whenever you find yourself unable to experience happiness in instances of crisis, and you see yourself without any other choice but to externalize a humble smile on behalf of those around you. Do so, for this modest smile will be worthier than uttering a less agreeable word that might plunge others into desperation, thereby aggravating the problems of those around you who presently beg for your support and understanding. Encourage the well-being of others as a guarantee for your own. When you cannot provide everything that you desire and as much as it is expected from you, offer at least what is within your means, because absence of the best that one can do is an opening for the worst that may possibly happen. Therefore, the smallest sum of goodness will forever be a light, dispelling the darkness that always collects where there is no goodness at all. Emmanuel. As we all can see, this is a very important message for the problems that we are facing nowadays, not only in the United States, but also in Europe, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Brazil, not only because of the coronavirus crisis, but also because of the social unrest that we are seeing happening all over the world. And it is time to give our small portion of love and understanding towards others, comprehending that a word of peace, a vibration of love, a smallest pray towards our companions and our friends and loved ones can make a huge difference. We must understand each other, no matter what difficult is the situation. We must embrace each other as human beings, as brothers and sisters, all of us together, because we must understand that we have differences of opinions, but we still brothers and sisters. That's the message of Jesus Christ, our Lord, that we should love one another. And that is also the message that the Spiritist doctrine brought to us through the works of Allan Kardec in France, in 19th century France, and through the works of Chico Xavier in the 20th century in Brazil, until the first years of the 21st century here in Brazil. We must pay attention to what we can do to make a difference towards peace, love, fraternity, solidarity, understanding, patience, courage, and above all, our good faith that we all will surpass and that we all would win all the obstacles to build a better world. A word of understanding, a word of truth, a word of happiness and fraternity, a world where science will meet religion to bring the best from our hearts to the human society. May God bless you all, and see you next week with the program To Know Spiritism. I'm Geraldo Lemos Neto from Brazil, and I hope you enjoyed this message by the Spirit of Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Have you all a very good night.